Today I'm doing a second Minecraft video since the last time I've uploaded, because recently, whenever I recorded that last episode, that I said nothing about the new update because the new update wasn't out yet, and I never said that I was gonna make a video on this, but I decided I might as well. So the Nether update is the most recent update that came out by Mojang, and there's another. There's a Enderman over there. But apparently, it came out at the exact same time as Java on Bedrock, which normally never happens. Now, there's a ton of things that I've figured out that I really like, and I'm going to share some of the things that I've found with you guys. One of my favorites being that whenever I do my outros, I can now do this. This is specifically only for Bedrock, but there are now emotes. From what I know, these are the only 3 emotes that are in the game right now, but I still think that they're really cool. But if you do them in first person, you can't see the animation, but if you look in the top left, you can see my little character is doing the animation. So I think that's really cool. So I'm basically just gonna grab some, as you can see, actually, I was gonna say get some new things and go to the Nether to check out everything. But as you can see, there are a ton of new items. Half of this stuff was not here before. If you just look closely, you can see some of the items. Some of you might be thinking, wait, some of these items I don't recognize, and that's because they were not in before the update. So, if you don't know, the now most powerful item in the game, it was diamond, but now it is netherite, which is the most powerful armor and item in the game. It is extremely rare and extremely hard to get. Though it is easy if you have full diamond. It is extremely easy to go over. Now the thing with netherite, if you guys don't know, which I bet most of you do, quickly gonna grab this, is that they are lava resistant. So if I throw every single one of these in here, you'll see that they do not do anything. They sort of bounce around. It's like jumping on a trampoline. So I think that is amazing. And I feel that there's gonna be a bunch of things they're able to do with that. So if you die in lava and instead of having a bunch of diamond on, if you have netherite, you will not lose a single item. Another thing that's new is that campfires, torches, and lanterns, depending on which one you use, now have a new look. They have the normal for example, they have the normal campfire, and the new campfire. As you can see, they're different. This one's crafted using a piece of coal, and this one's crafted using a piece of, I think it's like soul soil, I think. Another thing that's new is if you place the lodestone in the nether, you can create, if you right click, I think it's right click, no, left click with the compass. Left click, okay, so L2, or left trigger on Bedrock, right click on Java, it will actually set it's just like it says, or it's not really like it says, but it basically is like a compass. It will point you exactly to where the lodestone is at. Now there's a ton of new things, but I don't have enough time to show off everything, so I'm just gonna speed through it. Chains. Targets. Targets send out a certain amount of single depending on the closer you get to the middle. Chains. I mean, there's not much to say here. They look nice. They should be able to make chain armor. A couple of other things that I knew. It turns out that any of the soul items do not give up. You can see, if you look closely, they do not give off as much light as the normal lanterns do. I think that's because they give off more light in the nether. Another thing that's new is the respawn anchor. With the respawn anchor, you need 3 crying obsidian and 3 glowstone. Now the thing with the respawn anchor is that if you well, it says it in the name, it's a respawn. If you're in the nether and you die, if you have this thing set to max, you will always respawn right here. And I'm gonna say it looks amazing. And the sounds for it are also amazing. Hang on, I forgot. And I think it's just amazing. So now the next thing that I want to do is I want to, let me find flint and steel quickly because I'm an idiot. That's leads. I don't want leads. I want flint and steel. I want to hop over to the nether. This is actually a perfect spot to spawn in because it shows off a couple of the new things. Number one, zombie pigmen were removed and replaced with zombie piglins. There's now nether gold that gives you gold nuggets. These are piglins. If you throw down gold, here I'll give you an example. If you throw down a piece of gold, they'll actually come over, inspect it. They're generally passive mobs if you're wearing gold. If you're not wearing gold, they will kill you. In that case, I just bartered with the piglin. They'll come over and inspect the item, and then they'll give me something back because I gave them the gold. So in that case, that guy gave me some soul sand, and now he gave me some glowstone dust. So, that's really cool. They travel in packs and will attack a hoglin, which is one of the new mobs. Now, the reason I said that was a perfect spawn is because I spawned right next to one of the new biomes. I think this is the Mycelium Forest. But there's two different versions. They got like a blue version and a red version. This is the red version, and I think it looks amazing. They got vines. This is you can see the difference between normal nether wart and the new Mycelium block. You can take bone meal and right click on Java, left trigger on bedrock, and you can actually turn it into this block right here. It's really cool. Now, if I hear correctly, yep, here it is. The hoglin. The hoglin it's a food source, and the piglin will actually hunt the hoglin because it's a food source. It drops pork chop, which can be helpful. And with any of these mobs, if you bring them into the overworld, they will turn into different mobs. For example, if you take a hoglin and bring it into the overworld, it will turn into a zoglin. And as you can see, there's a very clear difference here. It's like a zombie pigman. Now, another thing is, if I spawn in a bunch of piglin near here, piglin will actually hunt the hoglins. But at the moment, they don't seem to be doing that. So, I'm not exactly sure, but normally they would hunt the hoglins. But at this point, I don't know exactly what they're doing. The baby piglin will actually just steal your gold, so don't try bartering with them. Okay. A few other things. This is specifically. There's a lot more to this update, but I am just going over the basic things. There's a ton of new blocks, and probably the most expensive block is this, the block of netherite. It can only be made using netherite, and that's an absolute pain. This is probably the biggest Mycelium forest I've ever seen. This one is massive. It's either one big or one small. So there's also new dungeons. There's not like the Nether Fortress was the only dungeon sort of thing here. I don't know what's going on here, but was the only sort of thing in the Nether. But now it's pretty rare to find. But there are like these piglin camps, and I don't know exactly what they're called. But it's a good place. As long as you don't open anything. Also, there's a wall of lava right here. But it's a good place to get some good stuff. Now, at the moment, I don't know why there's one Mycelium forest around here. There's one massive forest. Biomes don't usually last this long. I'm flying around to try and find a different biome to show you. Ah, here's one. So, oh, yep, of course. Ah, here's two. It's the Soul Sand Valley right here, which is where it's a great place to get bone blocks, but they also spawn in skeletons. That's a big, yeah. And then they have the Basalt Plains, I think it's called. And it basically says it all itself. It's basalt, just a bunch of basalt. I recommend watching out because ghasts are not friendly. But yeah, Soul Sand Valley, and yeah. Now, if you want to, now I probably should have gone over this earlier. But if you want to get netherite, you have to go into the deep depths of the underworld, I would say, and look for a ton of ancient debris. So I am going to quickly speed up and see if I can find any. And the reason I'm looking in this section is because I'm going to use beds. So I'll come back later whenever I find some. And start. Time-lapse. This is actually one of the new blocks that I want to talk about. Blackstone. It's like the nether version of cobblestone. And you can actually use it to make stone tools. And I think that would be really helpful if you're like stuck in the nether doing a challenge or something. There's not really anything else to say about that. And time-lapse end. This is exactly what I was talking about. Ancient debris. And as you saw, that time-lapse was a little long, or long for my likings. So, they are pretty rare. I probably came across some earlier, but this is the first one that I've actually seen. But once you mine ancient debris, you have to bring into a furnace, and smelt them to make netherite scraps. And then once you make netherite scraps, you have to combine, I think it's 4 pieces of netherite scraps and 4 pieces of gold to make one piece of netherite. Now, once you make 1 piece of netherite, and that is pretty hard to make, and give it with some diamond gear, and then take a smithing table, all of those together, a smithing table actually has a purpose now, instead of just being for decoration. But if you left trigger and right click, you can actually see it says upgrade gear. So if you put your diamond armor in there, specifically, or not diamond armor, just anything that you want to upgrade, and then put a netherite ingot right here, you see it takes 1 netherite to make 1 helmet. And netherite is a lot better than diamonds. As you can see here, it just says diamond helmet, and this one has knockback resistance. So, and there's a new sound effect. So now that I have that, I now have my own netherite helmet. I wonder, can I do this in midair? See, you can do these in the air, and you can sort of do a 360 cam around them as well. So I think that would be really helpful when you're doing a role-play in Minecraft, especially these. So, I think that that's basically all the simplest things that I can say about Minecraft's new Nether update. So let me just quickly, I'll skip to the end. Give me just a second. So I was thinking, this is the Nether update. What better place to stop the video than the Nether? And I really hope you guys enjoyed, and I really hope that this video was very helpful. At the same time, I I had a lot of fun recording this because I got to see some. Because I knew about these things, but there's still a ton of things that I do not know about, and there's a ton of new redstone contraptions that I can make, same as builds. And I really hope it was helpful to you guys. And so I really hope you guys enjoyed. The fastest way to get ancient debris is TNT/beds, but I recommend TNT because it's easier, but it's more expensive. So thanks for watching, and I guess I might as well wave to end. And oh, last thing, Striders. You can put a saddle on them, and then you go. Now that's the end of this video. Bye.